Hello and welcome to part 4 of level 1 on the electronic music production with Ableton Live course. So if you've got this far, well done for sticking with it. There's loads more to come, so don't go anywhere yet. Right, so this lesson's kind of not desperately exciting, but there's some useful stuff in it. We're going to sort of just be looking in a bit closer detail at Ableton's browser and also how we can sort of change the look of the interface and so on. So the browser, let's just have a quick look at the browser first. So if your screen looks like this, you'll see a little arrow triangle thing up here. So if we click on that, that's going to open and close the browser. So if you're working, let's say we're in arrangement view and you're working in your arrangement, generally you wouldn't want your browser open because it takes up quite a bit of space in the arrangement window. So the browser is basically where all the content is stored. Okay, so you've got all your packs, and I'm going to deal with this stuff in a second under places, and this is all the stuff that would have shipped with your version of Live. But before we go into that, let's just go through a few of the other windows. We've got the clip view window, which we've already mentioned, I think, in previous lessons, but if you need to show and hide that, you can click on the triangle button down there. You can also double click on a clip. Let's go back to session view. So if you double click on that, it's going to open that up. Let's just bring that into here, and if you click on it in that, it's going to bring it up there as well. So in both views you can double click to bring that in. So we've got quite a lot of flexibility as to how much we hide and show. These sections can also be hidden down here. If we don't want that bit on, we can, so you've got a lot of flexibility. We can also show and hide different aspects on the, let's just go back into this view around here with these buttons down here. So the in out, if you can see, if I click on that, it gets rid of all these bits to show where our audio is being routed in and out of. We can show or hide our send and returns. Okay, so you can see here these disappear. When the sends are not shown, the send dials disappear here. So again, we can have loads of space on here. That's the M is the mixer section. So if you need to hide that. The digital track delay, kind of a bit of a technical thing with kind of getting timing right. Generally, I don't have that on. Crossfader is when we're using Ableton kind of for DJ purposes. There's another course on that, which if it's not already live on my channel is coming up soon. So that's what the crossfader is all about. So generally, I mean, I will usually leave those open. I usually leave my send and returns on, and I usually have the mixer. But if I've got loads and loads of clips in here, I might get rid of some of those to get a bit more space. So you can customize it, pretty much however you want. I think I mentioned in previous videos as well, you can also change the look and the look of the actual whole interface in this section, which is preferences. So options, preferences, which I think is under the file menu on a Mac, or keyboard shortcut, control and comma will bring that up. It's a lot quicker, and you can change the different skins in here, and I think you can download ones from the internet as well. I like the disco one, so I always keep it on that one. This one down here is actually very useful if you're new to Live. This is called the info view, and basically what happens is this tells you wherever you put your cursor, it tells you a little bit about what it's pointing at. So there you can see it gives you a bit of information on the sends, your import, and so on. So very, very useful actually. If you're thinking, well, what's this all about and what does this mean? It will tell you over there. So yeah, I would leave that open to start with. Once you're more familiar with the software, then close it down because it takes up a bit of space. But it's useful to start with. So let's just get rid of that. I'm going to open the browser again. We can resize the browser by just putting your cursor over here till we get the two arrows, and we can have it massive or really small, depending on which way we want it. Again, generally, I'll have it sort of about there, just so I can see all the different, the full file names of all the clips that are in there. So we've got sort of two sections to the browser. This section is the categories section, which contains all the content. So this top section over here. all the content that comes as standard with the software. This is going to be different depending on which version of Live you've got. You might have the full suite or the Live Lite or intro or whatever, so that may look slightly different, but that's where all of that is. So whenever we click on any of these, you can see this right hand column will then change to show what is in those folders. Okay. So below the categories, we've got the section called Places, and this is very useful for organization. So you can add any folder from your computer into this section, so you don't have to navigate out of Live. You know, if you want to find a loop on a folder, you don't have to kind of minimize it and go around here and think, right, I think I've got something in there I want to find, and then drag it in and so on. You can add it all in here. Easy way to do it. All you do is, I'm going to do is I'm going to hide that for now because I'm going to put that one back in. So I'm going to remove that. So what you do is click on the Add Folder button, opens a browser, and I've got a folder with some tracks in that I'm using for my DJing with Ableton Live course, which is that one there. So all you do is highlight that folder, click OK, give it a second, and it will appear down in this bit here eventually. There we go, when it thinks about it. There we go. So that's now appeared there. So it makes it really easy just for navigating, you know, to all your content on your computer. As you can see, I've got a folder here with a load of samples in. Your packs are in here as well. When you download those free packs I've referred to in previous lessons, they will all be in here. So these are all your packs. Okay, and when you download them and install them, Ableton will automatically put them into here. I've got a folder with a load of samples in there and so on. And then just a final bit on this one is the search window up at the top, which is very, very useful. Let's say I want to search, if I've got a lot of content on my computer, I don't want to be going through all these folders and thinking, right, I want to find a snare drum. So I could just type in here, snare, and you can filter your results as well. So if I go on all results, it's going to literally bring everything that has the word snare in it. So you can see rather a lot. All right. So you can filter that down further if you want to just go for samples, which will be like one-shot things, or there will sometimes be loops as well. If you want to filter it down to actual clips, which is going to be more loops like that, it's also a good way of doing that. Again, if there's any sort of effects specifically for like a snare drum, you can see here we've got presets on for a snare, EQ, and so on the audio effects. So that's really useful way of navigating through your content, particularly if you've got a lot of stuff. You know, let's try another one. I don't know, let's try violin for randomly. Let's go on all results first of all. Yeah, we've got a few, so it brings all of those up in there again. Samples, clips, and then there's probably going to be nothing on effect. But again, instruments, you know, so you can see we've got some presets and so on there. So useful thing just to get into your head as well is the search button. And a lot of these will have folders within folders within folders of different presets on the audio effects and so on, but we'll get into all of that in more detail on later videos. So that's it for this one. Like I say, not desperately exciting, but some useful information in there. So have a play around with the different views and stuff that you you know, and kind of think how you want to use your interface and the things that you want to have open. And yeah, I'm jabbering on now, so I'm going to shut up and I will leave it there, and I'll see you on the next video. As always, if you've got any questions or comments, stick them in the box below. Please like and subscribe, usual sort of stuff, share the videos around, and I will see you on the next one, which is part 5, where we're going to look at audio clips in a lot more detail. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.